All right. Good evening, everybody. Let's go ahead and check the audio and see if you guys can hear and see everything okay. While you do that, I'm going to go ahead and get everything ready. Hello from Nashville. How is everybody today? Good evening. It's a beautiful Monday night. What's up? Hello, Jay. Coach Jay is in here as well. Sounds like everything is good. So let's go ahead and get it started. I'm Coach Dakota, Coach DBA. Welcome to Slow Markets. As always, I posted our Top Step risk disclosure in the chat. You can see we have the live markets behind me. We'll be analyzing live markets. We're going to be doing live market trading concepts. Everything I say is for educational purposes only. If you do have questions, feel free to type them in the chat. We have an amazing moderator that sends and feeds me any of the questions that I do not get to. I try and get to your guys' questions as soon as possible. Big shout out from where? Michigan, Toronto, Canada. I did not get to see the eclipse, unfortunately. I've been so busy. It's just been busy. I haven't had a chance to take a break or to slow down. I missed it, unfortunately. You know, maybe I know they say there's going to be one in another 100 years, but it just seems like every single year or two, there's always some type of eclipse or something happening. But let's dive into it. Today was an interesting day in terms of not a lot really happening. As I go through today, I do have a trade going. This is a Nikkei trade. I went in long at 39,590. I'm seeing if we could break and maybe test up here into the 700, 800s. I'm going to be keeping an eye out on that during the class, so I might be jumping back and forth. I'm sure you guys will pay attention to that for me as well. So if it goes up or down, I'm sure you'll let me know. But let's talk about the NASDAQ. What's happened on the NASDAQ? What are we looking at? And what can we expect to happen tonight and going into tomorrow? Well, not a lot, really, right? I mean, this was the huge sell-off Thursday. Friday, we rallied right back into 18,300. Now, this is the daily chart, guys. And we rallied right up to 18,300, and today it was not a lot really going on. We opened up, we rallied, we kind of just hesitated, but we finished really close to where we opened up, or we finished Friday. And today we're being a little bit bearish so far. Not really much is happening, to be honest. If we zoom into an hourly chart, I mean, that kind of describes the day. Look at this. This is an hourly chart. What's happening here? Like nothing, right? I mean, we talk about bar coding. If you tried to trade this on the hourly chart, which was me, I got chopped up. I took a loss today. It was ugly. It was a bit frustrating on my end. But sure enough, every hour it looks like, green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red, green. That's what it was. You would have been a lot better off. I mean, for me, I would have obviously done a lot better if I just would not have traded this. For range traders, it was pretty simple, right? We sell the rallies, buy the dips, and it was straightforward. Unfortunately, I just got ate alive in this type of a market. It was not fun to trade at all. Really frustrating. And this was right after Mick and the Risk team opened me up. Everybody knows I'm going to be trading my live account just like I'm copy trading 3 XFAs, which means one contract is usually my minimum. I copy trade that between 3 XFAs. Do the math. 1 times 3 is 3 contracts. So in my live account, one entry is 3 contracts. So, as I'm trying to scale and grow my live account, it's a double-edged sword. When I have days like today, my losses are going to be magnified. And, when I do have winners like Friday, my winners will also be magnified. So it's give or take, right? On any type of positive news, I did pass my combines. So I'm going to be activating a couple new XFAs that I'm going to be trading that as well on the side to test and play and to trade as well. I'm always trading. I'm always testing. I've been testing out Topstep X. Topstep X is amazing. I'm excited to continue to switch over as Topstep continues to grow that. Travis Jones, I actually passed the combine today. Congratulations. Board Yeti, I trade the 150K combines when I'm trading and passing them. Anyway, it's very hard. We have big news coming up. What is it? On Wednesday? Wednesday is going to be a very eventful day. Let's take a look. We have CPI month over month. We have CPI year over year. We have, what is this? Bank of China, Bank of Canada, monetary policy, rate statement, the overnight rate. We have a lot. We have FOMC minutes. That's the big one here in the United States. Some FOMC members speaking. Wednesday is going to be a very, very busy day. And if today was not a sign of what the market is in the mood of, right? The market just does not know what to do. Essentially, buyers are not taking control. We buy it up a little bit. The bears, sell it right back down. And it's a consolidating mess. I took a big, fat loss in this. And it's no fun when the market is acting like this. We had some nice, clean price action the last few days. Then today it was just messy. I am looking for the same thing to happen tomorrow. Maybe not identical, but we're most likely, and what I am planning on, anything can happen. You never know what the market's going to do. But what I am planning on is the market to be just as messy, just as choppy as we've seen today. If anything, maybe it's just a good sign that I should just not try and force any trades, not look for big breakouts and big movements ahead of Wednesday. It's Tuesday, only the second trading day of the week. Once we start to get all of that, the news in on Wednesday, maybe there can be some more clarity. So I'm going to go ahead and pass on the NASDAQ. This is the ugliest I've seen the NASDAQ since the rollover, and I am definitely not going to be one that wants to trade this. Let's jump over to gold. Gold, I have a love-hate relationship with gold. Everyone knows that beautiful gold trade from Friday, right? Who was here on Friday that seen this gold trade? I took it live. It was down here. I ended up buying it somewhere right here in this area. And I closed it out for profit. I think my profit was like right here. So this was an example. Like I said, I'm just getting used to gold, testing out, trading it. And sure enough, we had that huge rally. I didn't hold it. I took profit, as you guys seen where my take profits was. I was happy with that trade, even though we rallied. Today, I did take another trade on gold. I unfortunately was trying to short gold. I was trying to take another short right around this hourly candlestick. The reason being was we had to rally up. We, had a pullback. We tried to have a continuation. And as soon as we failed, I got in short somewhere right here. I'll have to double check. I held it too long and it rallied up and it stopped me out. It's something I'm still learning. How long can I hold on to gold? Maybe, what happened last Friday, I was, wish I would have held it before. I held this short against the trend, which of course, hindsight, that's not the best. We're starting to consolidate again. And essentially, do we want to call this a head and shoulders pattern, right? Maybe. Gold's been in such a bullish trend, and anytime we get bearish momentum or any type of pullback, it has been just buy it up. Just buy it. Every time we have a pullback, we've been buying it. I don't see why this wouldn't be any different to continue to rally if we do break out. So this is what I am going to be looking for in gold, is possibly a continuation. I am a little bit hesitant. And the only reason I say that is because I think we're near a situation where, man, like I said, it's probably good that I'm still just getting used to gold. I'm not, taking a lot of trades. I'm not, transitioning it 100% into my live account. And it's going to be a little bit slower than normal. Because look at this. This is such a huge rally since March, right? Like this was a huge rally from basically 2060s all the way up to 2200s. We broke that. We broke 300, and it's just been going up and up and up. So I'm a bit hesitant to take any longs here in gold. If anything, I might just wait, and maybe there's an opportunity to take a really good risk reward on a short gold. If we jump into a weekly chart, this kind of sums it up, right? Back in July, what was this, 2020, right? We are making multi-year highs. We've just broke out, and this thing could just keep going and going, and it's very hard to try and step in front of it, right? So I'm definitely going to wait and watch and just see how gold reacts. I did take that loss today in gold, and I think the better decision is to wait and watch to see how we react, and maybe look for one of those really much higher, more consistent trades like I took on Friday or Thursday night to buy in this trending market, buy the dip, and that is basically the story, right? We want to take those high probable trades, which is buying pullbacks in the direction of the market. Let's go ahead and get to some of your guys' questions. Let's open up to some questions before I move into the next market. NV Celsius. I did go over the NASDAQ. The 1 hour chart is basically just barcode. And we have big news event on Wednesday here in the US with FOMC and CPI. So today's price action on the NASDAQ was really, really ugly and not fun if you tried to trade that. And I'm expecting more of the mess to continue tomorrow. If you were short gold with a sell stop, how do you figure entry and my stop loss? So David B, if I was short gold, here's what we're talking short gold in this really bullish market. But what I was looking for is I was looking for gold to sell off. So I got short gold around 23, I think 47s, 48s. Like I said, I'll have to pull it back up and see. But essentially, I had my stop loss here above this. Well, first it was at the high of this 1 hour candle. Then I moved it from this one. And then I was going to move it here. I was a bit too slow, and I waited because I was thinking, maybe we can consolidate and have some type of momentum. And it just gave me an L. And here we go. We're starting to just, let's zoom in. We could watch it. This is, gold is something else. Look at that move. As I was talking and we pulled up gold, this is, how do you short this market? I was really stupid to take a short down here. I should have never, it should have been one of those really quick in and out trades where if you do trade against the trend, make sure the risk reward is good. Make sure your stop is a little bit tighter when comparing it to going with the trend. What lot size do I use on gold, NASDAQ on 150K account? So DV, it depends on your strategy. It depends on the time frame that you are trading. For example, when I first started a 150K account, I typically did not like going over more than 3 contracts. And a lot of time I was in the micros. I will always recommend the micros compared to other, like jumping in with minis. David B, I bought 2336 last night in gold and took a loss. Poor location, had the right idea. 2630. Yeah, that's about it, right? We have to have good location, a decent stop loss, and try and put ourselves in position to take advantage of when there are movements. There's plenty of times I can't tell you. I probably wouldn't be able to go back and count how many times I would get stopped out and then the market go in the direction I originally thought because I either had too big of a position size on, or I had my stop loss too tight, or one reason or the other. I'm sure everybody here has experienced similar, where they are placing trades, they have their stop loss either too tight, their position size too big, and then after they get stopped out, they wake up or they look back at the chart and the market's going in the direction that they thought because their analysis was correct. However, the market movement does not always move as perfect as what we imagine it to be. That's unfortunately the reality of trading. What indicator is it you have with the yellow line following the current price? All this is just what the current price is. I don't know what indicator it is. So price line indicator here on the NinjaTrader platform that I'm using. This is a suggestion that I don't know if it's on Topstep X yet, but this is something I do want on Topstep X that I'm going in and I'm actually putting it in there. I think I put it in there once. I'll have to double check. In the Topstep X, and this is why I am very excited about switching to the platform, is it's built by traders for traders, and we can suggest and we could all upvote the things that we want, and it's by popular demand, right? So that's a big one. You short now gold? Yeah, I mean, I see what you're seeing here in gold. Like that looks like we ran some stops. I just don't want to be short gold. I mean, if you have a good risk reward and if you're able to manage this short, that could be a good risk reward. Immediately what I'm looking at, if I was to short gold now, this is the way I would look at it because it's a decent risk reward, right? Depending on where you got in, like say we get in here, I would be okay with having something like this. Like I would be comfortable with this overnight if I was bearish and if I wanted to short gold because I have a decent risk reward. My stop loss is at a decent place. Of course, I would much rather maybe get in around 2362s using a limit order. I'm just not used to gold as much as I probably should be. Yeah, so I think that's all I have to say. We might continue to sell off. I think it's one of those, gold is in the market where we're in a position where it's like we've rallied too far, too fast. We've rallied so much. We have a lot of people probably just looking at gold and saying, oh, it has to have a pullback. And then we just keep just destroying everyone trying to sell it. Let's see, a couple more questions and we'll jump over to crude oil and we'll bounce back to this Nikkei trade where it's not really doing very much. Like I said, I was looking for a break, see if we could rally up towards 39,700, maybe 39,800. We'll see. It's not looking too promising for me. I might just take this loss. Okay, there's a couple more questions. I think I might have missed one or two of them. Why Bitcoin looks so simple to trade compared to other markets? I mean, if it looks simple to trade, I would definitely recommend trying to trade it, right? Yes, gold is on Topstep X, and Jay Cook was in the chat and he confirmed it, right? NASDAQ. We did the analysis on NASDAQ. I'm going to stay away from the NASDAQ pretty much because of this, right? Like, what information do we have here? I don't have any information right here on the NASDAQ. Like, this NASDAQ is just telling me we're going to consolidate. There's no setups I see based off of this. Price action is ugly here on the hourly chart. And so there's no sense for me to trade this. I mean, there is a way, right? Which would be buy when we come down here and sell when we come up, into these higher areas. But for me, it's just too hard for me to manage risk on the NASDAQ. And it's just my personal preference. I mean, essentially it was just buy up here, sell down here, and then you can make decent money doing that, and it will work until it doesn't, right? Until we break out, and then you just need to make sure we're managing our risk with decent stop losses, above resistance or below support. So if you did trade something like this, then yeah, it would have been great for you, right? Where every time we rallied up, we've been selling these highs with a decent stop loss to look for a rotation back down to the lows, and you could have your stop loss here. And this will work until, of course, it doesn't. Unfortunately, I was not looking at the market to do this. I don't like to trade this very often because it's really difficult for me in the way that I trade personally, but it worked, right? And maybe tomorrow we get something similar. I'm just not going to plan on it. I would much rather not trade. Okay, one more question and we'll move over to crude oil. This is more of a mental question. I was in the top 10 in funded plus payout last week. I could have ended my days 2 to 10,000 up per day. Instead, I kept coming back to take a bad trade and holding it till my DLL. So this is the best question you probably could have asked me. I'm in the same boat in terms of my live account. So let me see if my live account was updated. Because this is a good thing. I debated whether I brought this up during class or not. But I think I will. I think I've been struggling mentally on my live account. And let me go over the reason why. Because I think this is very important, because it's important to me. So I would think it would be important to you guys in terms of the way it is. So, okay, here is my live account. Okay, this is my live account. I'm currently at 93,000 on my live account right here. $93,022. The other day, Friday, so this was just Friday, and going into Sunday open, I was at I think it was $99,000. Maybe it touched 100,000, but I withdrew 3,000 of it, okay? So this includes my payouts. My live account balance right now is like 90,000 because I withdrew 3,000 of it, okay? I've been trying, and this $100,000 mark has been such a psychological hurdle for me, and it's just 100% me. Today, no, I think it was Thursday when I took that big loss, and MP mentioned it on TopstepTV. I had my live account at 99,800, and then I just got destroyed by that NASDAQ sell-off on Thursday. Same freaking thing happened to me today. I had my account balance at 90,000 or 99,000, and I think it was like 920 at one point. And then I took that another loss. So, man, it's 100% me. It's frustrating, and I've been thinking about them like, okay, I need to just stop. I think I'm just trading the P&L. We had this crappy price action today. Take a step back, reset, and just focus on the process and not focus on the profits. So I think I see that with a lot of traders, especially the traders that are on the leaderboard or trying to make it on the leaderboard. And I think we're going to see the same thing when it comes to the Top Step Trading League. Just a reminder for everybody here, we have the Top Step Trading League that is now going to be happening in the fall, where we're still awaiting the details, but my understanding is that there's going to be trading teams, and these trading teams are going to compete against other teams based off the P&L, some type of statistics, right? And when we're doing that, there's going to be a lot of pressure on the traders who are trying to trade live in front of everybody. And I could only imagine what it will be like, down in Las Vegas, when we have, thousands and thousands of eyes watching us trade funded accounts competing against another team, right? So that level of pressure when we're trading a funded account on top of trading in front of a huge group, it's going to be interesting. So I really love this pressure that I'm going through now, so that way I can be prepared to go through it and continue to go through it. So this is much, much harder than just regular trading, I believe. It's going to be interesting, and that's something I think a lot of traders are going to be going through that, and it's going to be exciting for you guys to watch, and even a lot of traders here, and you guys included, have that opportunity to participate in that event. It's going to be excited. I'm excited for it. I mean, I don't know what else I could say to hype that up. I'm just excited to hear more about the event and all the details of what's going to be happening and what's going to be going on. The closer and closer we get. Anyway, can I find hit? Let's go through a few more questions. And yeah, this trade's starting to look a little bit better. So you guys can see I have the Nikkei here showing up, and this is a 100 tick. We kind of made a double bottom, and we're starting to make higher lows and possibly continuing to make higher highs. I would like to see this have another move up and test 700 and possibly break it. I would love to have the market rally up and maybe, just maybe, between tonight and tomorrow, see 800, maybe 850. So this is a trade that I will look to hold overnight. I will be perfectly fine maybe doing a take profit here for a 1-to-1 and then letting a runner for tonight go. So something like this, leave this going on for the rest for tonight. Excuse me, I haven't ate today. Okay, so maybe something like this is what I'm looking for. We will see. If we continue to push up higher, I will then move my stop loss below the previous pivot, let's say 545, and then I will go to bed like this, right? Where I'll have a good 5-to-1 risk reward running overnight. We'll see. We'll see by the time I'm finished class. I'm most likely will be moving my stop loss up there right around 39,550. Looks like everyone's trying to trade platinum. I haven't looked at platinum. I have not traded platinum, and I don't think I'm going to right now because you guys already got me onto gold. I have NASDAQ, crude oil, the Nikkei, and gold. And this trade's looking better and better for me. I just want us to keep pushing. I've been doing so well on the Nikkei lately, and I don't want to spread my focus around too many markets. 4 markets is enough for me. Well, I usually recommend just 1 or 2 markets for traders. Yeah, I sounded disgusted saying platinum. How long did it take you to build up that much in your life? And what kind of account size did you start using? Jams, are you referring to my live account on getting the Topstep leaderboard? So just for everybody here, for reference, I am between 90,000 and 100,000 on my live account. I mean, it just depends on the day, right? But the reason why, and the way it's taken me to build that, is I went from 150K account, express funded, and I did multiple express funded accounts. I traded those. I started it mid-January, January 15th, and I made 50,000 in January to February 15th. So January 15th to February 15th, I made 15,000 or 61,000 to be exact. March was a rough month. I struggled the first part of March. I believe I lost like 25,000, 30,000. I'm not 100%, but I lost some money. Then I took a step back. I had to readjust the way that I was trading. And while I was readjusting, I passed a few more combines into express funded accounts. So I was still trading express funded accounts, and I was trading my live account. And then I've made another 50,000 on that, transferred that to live this past week. And so that's where I'm sitting. And I'm trading the same way. So the same way I've done that over the past 3-4 months is the same way you see me trade in front of you live. So I'm going to go ahead and move my stop loss because we are starting to push higher, because this is a trade I took in my live account. I think it's only fair that I show you guys this in my live account. Let's see. There's my live account. Oh man, that's ugly. Ugh. So I'm in 6 contracts long in my live account at the same exact price. So I'm up about $2,400 in my live. Now 3,000. This is looking good. I'm gonna watch this and manage this if you guys don't mind. I need to manage this first. So I'm 6 contracts long the Nikkei at 39,590 in my live. So we'll see if I can manage this. Take profits are in the same spot. And we'll see if we could break above 700. I'm looking for a break above 700. If I could get that, I'll be happy. Daniel, what hours do you find it best to trade Nikkei? Right now, we're watching me. This is typically where I like to trade Nikkei, about this. Oh, there we go. There we go. Let's see if I can get... I'm trying to get out of my live account. Sorry. Same thing. See, I got filled in my simulated account in this combine, but it didn't fill me in my live. And that's the thing, is the live fills are so much different than simulated. That's the that's the reality of trading, is simulated. And I think you guys hear the coaches and everyone, TopstepTV, simulated is great, right? It's great to practice on. It's great to, learn discipline, practice risk management. But then when you go to live, especially when we're trading an off market that might have, not enough liquidity as normal, as say like the NASDAQ or something, then you run into liquidity issues. And part of that liquidity issues is not getting filled at the exact price that you want. Jay Cook says, yep, fills are different. Yep, thank you. I need to adjust my stop loss. So this is fine. Let's see. We went up and we tested. We went up right to 705 is the high. My take profit is right there. I'm pretty confident we could break out of this. While we do that, I'm just going to go ahead and switch to my live account in front of you guys. I'm going to switch to my live in front of everybody, and I'm going to try and manage this live in front of you. We'll see. It takes a minute. That's why I was a little bit hesitant to switch, because it takes like a minute or two to switch from my combines to my live account. Watch Nikkei just tank before it logs me in. Let's go. Okay, there's my live. Yeah, so that's my live account. So let me get out of here. This will not let me hold it. Do you see how it's not filling me? It hasn't filled me yet on my live. You guys can see the difference here. So I'm going to continue to manage this. I'm going to hold these 4 contracts probably overnight to see if we could have that continuation above 700. So there's my live account. I figured I could show you guys that while I'm switching and back and forth. That's what I manage on my phone while I'm doing that. But when I'm teaching class, I use combines. I use the demo account for that specific reason. sit here and show you practice, because I don't mind messing up in a combine or showing examples in a combine during class. But then when I am in my live account, it's a little more serious, right? And I take my live account a lot serious when it comes to this. But yeah, if I was trading my express funded accounts, that was still $1,000. But since I said I am going to trade my live account because Mick opened me up, every single trade I take, I times that by 3, and it seems to be working pretty well. I'm going to watch this to answer some more questions. Don't mind me trading on my phone. I don't recommend trading on your phone. It's just something that I do. Sometimes I think it's a bad habit to have my phone so easily in front of me. I do not recommend it. And if you do have the ability to trade on your phone, do not do it. Maybe because it's an addiction. It really is. And I talk to my girlfriend, I talk to my family about this all the time. This is the problem with technology sometimes, is it's so easily available to us. For example, when I trade my slow markets, you guys see this trade exactly. I will let this trade run overnight. I will turn off my computer, I'll go to bed, and I will not think of the markets until I wake up in the morning. However, with it being on my phone, I have such a temptation because, your phone's with you, whether you're in bed, whether you're traveling, whether you're, if you have a job and you're at work, wherever you're at, you have that phone with you, and it can be very, very addicting. I've had that where I think, I could place a trade. There's an opportunity here. I place a trade. There's an opportunity there. Place a trade. And it could be such a bad habit. So I 100% do not recommend you guys trading on your phone. Rips. Coach, do you have any tips for traders who want to trade using their smart fridge? Which fridge? I mean, if you're using fridge, I'd stick to the very basic commodities, right? Maybe can you trade milk? Can you wheat, milk, maybe beef? Just stick to those basics. I use Google Chrome on my fridge. I've installed Google Chrome. From there, I could log on to TopstepX, and you can trade on your fridge using TopstepX. As long as you have access to the internet, to a web browser, you can trade it. That's why I love TopstepX. Is if you have an internet browser, you can log on to TopstepX and you can trade. Randy, did you get parents' permission to trade? I did. I'm 18. When you turn 18, you can trade now. However, full disclosure is I started under my parents, because here in the United States, if you have your parents sign you on to their account, you can trade at a much younger age, which is what I did. But 18 years and older is the age. Yeah, this is the trade I'm still in. This is in my live account. This is in my demo and combine accounts. So here it is. I just passed my combines, so I paid the activation fee of $150 per account. Because I do not get any more benefits than what you guys do. Yeah, so I just paid those, and then typically, to be honest, usually 24 to 48 hours, I get my express funded accounts ready, and then I'm able to start trading them. Let's see. Managed a trade on my Palm Pilot yesterday. Did you end up? Hey, Jay, I believe we're going to be on Fast Markets on Friday. That is going to be really fun. I'm excited. Coach Jay and we're going to be doing Fast Markets I believe on Friday. I'll have to double check. This is the trade that I'm going to be having going into tomorrow. We'll see how this trade goes. Anyway, I'm getting a little bit too distracted. I am going a bit quicker, which is great. So let's jump into crude oil while we watch the Nikkei yet again not break above 700. So let's jump into crude oil. Everybody knows what direction crude oil has been going. And ever since we broke above that beautiful $80 a barrel, we've been going up and to the right. I'm super happy over crude. I've had some options. I have some $80 a barrel options that I've had since, January, even a little bit before January. And everybody knows, as soon as we broke above this $80 a barrel level, $78 to $80 a barrel level, it's been going up and up. And it's just been buying the pullbacks and sitting on the trade and watching it go up. I am looking at this level. You can see here on the daily back in the middle of October. We do have some resistance here around $88 to $89 a barrel. So I am going to be looking for crude. If we do rally up into this zone, I might start to consider taking some shorts. We will see. It's just something that I'm going to be watching and looking at. However, we are hesitating around here, around $86 to $87 a barrel. We have this beautiful doji candle is what we call it, apex candle, doji candle. We could see we had one here, and then we rallied. We just had another one. This is a daily chart, and we sold off, and then immediately found support right where we were. What was this? On the 3rd. And then we're rallying right back up. And that was really short-lived of a sell-off or a pullback. I'm going to continue to watch crude. I'm less of a bull right now than I was. Essentially, to me, it's very similar to gold, where we've rallied really, really far. And I would expect further consolidation or possibly a pullback. If we zoom into an hourly chart, which is what we see here. So here's an hourly chart. You could very well see that. This was Sunday. Sunday, we gapped down. This was quite the gap here in crude oil. We gapped down Sunday. We sold all the way down to 84, what is that, 70? Unfortunately, I was not watching this, or this could have been a very great buying opportunity. It was right here near support and sold off, buy the dip right at support. And since then, we've been rallying up. And the market is doing the same thing. We're making higher lows and we're making, higher highs. We could possibly, this might have just been a higher high or equal or higher high. Maybe we get a pullback back down. That's what it's starting to look like right now. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. It is maybe a sell-off, maybe a pullback here in crude. Until then, I don't want to sell it. This could be a decent place for a risk reward, a good risk reward if you do want to sell crude oil. Very similar to what we were talking about in gold, right? Where selling could be ill-advised against this bullish trend. However, we have a little bit more going for us if we want to sell crude oil, and that's some very basic price action, okay? This is what I'm looking at. This is why I'm starting to get just a little bit more bearish on having a pullback in crude oil. We broke a pivot low. We failed to break this one, and we kind of had a double bottom or whatever we want to call it. However, this could signal we could continue to have some type of a pullback or further consolidation, given there's not any more political news or political events that push crude in one direction or the other. Not watching. No, I don't watch volume, guys. 99% of my analysis is based off of very basic support and resistance. We are starting to get a sell-off. So essentially, that actually is not a bad trade. The more I'm looking at this, I think that could have been the trade where we get short on a 3-bar reversal. Maybe a stop loss up here, short there, and then maybe looking at some take profits down here around 85.80s. So maybe something like this could have been justified where we're getting a good risk reward and we have a decent stop. If we start to zoom into a 5-minute chart, we could see it. Maybe if I was watching this earlier, I could have had a trade that would look like this. That could have been my trade if I was watching this earlier, just some type of reversal pattern and the sell-off back down towards the upper $85 a barrel. Yeah, we'll see. I'm going to watch this. I don't have any trades on besides the beautiful Nikkei trade. That's kind of just, it's very, very slow at breaking the $700 or 39,700. It's went up, tested once, twice, 3 times. We'll see. If we do break, I am very happy and confident on my take profit because the Nikkei can, when it does move in one direction or the other, it sure can move. Anyway, some more questions, and then I think we'll finish it off just doing some Q&As for the last 15 minutes and go from there. And we'll continue to watch this Nikkei trade together. It's kind of not as exciting as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to break above 700, but what I think and what the market does is usually 2 different things, to be honest. Oh, okay. If I had $2,000 on my 100K combine today, tomorrow I lost 500 on my first trade, then made 3,500 the second trade, would I violate the consistency rule? I'd ask support. The risk guy doesn't want to pay you 15 con. Well, I have 30 contracts on my live account. How do you reset mentally after a loss? So this is something that I did today. Unicorn Nation, I think this is important for everybody, is after we have a bad losing day, after we have a loss, how do we mentally reset, right? It really depends. It depends on each of us individually. For me, I usually go out and get, this is a very bad habit of mine. I go and just eat. Like I don't eat junk food. Like I don't go eat candy, but I'll just go eat at a nice restaurant. I'll just go spoil myself and say, you know what? I'm just going to go eat. And I've gained more weight than I probably should by doing that, even though it's not just sugar. I just eat, and then after I eat, I'll go for a walk, and then I'll just watch a movie and relax and try not to think about the markets. This weekend was good because I ended Friday. Today I took a really bad loss because of on NASDAQ and on gold, but today I went and I had a good lunch. I had a great lunch. Not In-N-Out. In-N-Out is nah. Now I'm talking about if you're in like Utah, some amazing places to eat. Just a nice fancy restaurant, I guess. Comfort food. Yes, In-N-Out can be considered comfort food. Yeah, I like steakhouses. Steakhouses are my absolute favorite. Yeah, I've had Olive Garden a few times, but spoil yourself. And that you hear Hogue and MP and everybody on Topstep saying, take a payout, then you make the money become real. It's real. You realize it. When you receive that payout from Topstep, it feels good. And I talk to traders all the time who, they either wish they would have taken a payout or they're waiting till they hit a specific dollar amount to take a payout, and they end up blowing their account before they reach that dollar amount, and they wish, I wish I would have taken a payout. I could have taken a payout, but you did not. I can't even count the number of traders I've talked to in Discord and here at Topstep who's blown accounts saying, if I only would have taken a payout when I was up. They, had 5 winning days of 200 or more, and yeah, it sucks, right? I mean, it's always that would have, could have, should have. I wish I would have taken a payout. Then I could have used that funds to start a new combine or do this or whatever that situation is. So I will always recommend and suggest just take a payout when you can within reason. Don't put yourself in a situation where you hear Mick, our risk manager, say, you're trading good, but then you take a payout and you didn't leave any money in your account and you have too tight of a max loss limit as you withdrew too much, right? You don't have to withdraw the whole amount. You don't have to withdraw the full 50%. That's another mistake I see traders do, is just because you can withdraw 50%, you don't have to. Maybe 25%. I withdrew, I think it was like 10% of my account, and I'll grow it, and then I draw another percent and another percent, and then continue to do that. But it's consistently paying yourself. And I think that is a big step on your mental health, is that you're paying yourself. And then if you do run into an unfortunate situation where you blow your account, you've paid yourself, right? And you're a net positive. 3 contracts equals tons of red P&L. Well, I mean, it depends on the account size, right? Yeah, Nikkei didn't break out. That's a little unfortunate. I'm still fine with this stop loss here on the Nikkei. We'll see. Space Shark, I'm with you. I blew up 3 resets. Yeah, I came in late, but I will rewatch How to Pickleball Tournament. I actually got invited to play pickleball on one day this week. I've never played it. And also sports, going out, the gym. There's so many things that can be very, very beneficial for your mental health. How do you deal with not getting filled on positions like this? This happens on some trades with a couple ticks or points. Mentally, though, it is what it is, right? As you guys seen, I tried to get filled on my live account. It filled most of my position, but not all of it. Just wait, right? I mean, Hogue, and I think Hogue says this, where he has like a 90% rule. So instead of just waiting and waiting and waiting, just close it, right? One tick will not make or break an account. One tick will not make or break a trade, unless you leave it on overnight and it doesn't hit it, then that sucks. So just like you guys were watching me, I'm trying to get filled. It doesn't fill me. And the best thing to do is just like hit a market, just get out of the trade, hit take profit using a market order. If it really does mean that much to you, then that's fine. Jeff, I don't understand why Topstep would allow 15 contracts on combines, allow us to pass and then use this scaling plan on this top. Jeff, so I think this is an important question. I see what you're saying, and I see traders talk about this a lot. The important thing about a scaling plan is, and I could probably say that I speak for a lot of traders on this, is there's a psychological level and there's a psychological difference between a combine and an express funded account. And then even from a combine to an express funded account and then to a live account, each one is an increase in a psychological hurdle. So it's easy to trade 15 contracts on a combine. Combine fake money. If you make $10,000 on a combine, it means nothing. You're not going to get $10,000 in your pocket. When you are on an express funded account, then you can get a paycheck for your profits. And now that has a tangible. You are now, connected to the money mental side of an express funded account. And a lot of what traders do, and I'm sure everybody here in the chat could probably tell me if this applies to you or not, is as soon as you switch to the express funded account, you start to lose money because you either trade too big or you start thinking about the dollar amount or whatever that situation is. And I guarantee you 98% of you guys here who's traded an express funded account has went through that. However, the scaling plan is really nice because you could get through that really quick. To be honest, with 3 contracts, you can make or lose $1,000 in minutes, right? 3 contracts on the NASDAQ is $60, and the NASDAQ can move 10 points in a minute, less than a minute. So that's, $600 instantly. So I would always recommend take it slow, one contract, maybe drop down to micros, get comfortable trading in an express funded account using micros or something really small. Hit the $200 daily, get to that, feel comfortable, then you could start to grow. I very rarely go over 3 contracts in my live account. I very rarely go over 3 contracts in my express funded account. I know everybody's different. For me and myself, even 1 contract can be too big for that account size. James, you're going through that now? Yeah. Yep. Everyone goes through it that I've spoke to, that I've worked with, and that I have helped in the Discord. Well, I think that's it, guys. The only thing I really have left is I don't have any social media, but I did create an Instagram account, and I did it when I was in Vegas. And the only thing that I'm actually following is Topstep's Instagram. And the reason why was I think it was kind of funny to watch Hogue and MP and the team and how they were in Vegas. That was fun and interesting to see what's going on behind the scenes. I'm not in there yet, but that's something that you could do. Yeah, so I could just follow them. I'm not going to share you guys my Instagram because I don't want a bunch of people to follow me. I just enjoy watching. I'm one of those people that would rather, see social media and watch it, like TikTok or social, or if I have some friends, share something or want to share something with me, I could watch it. But I don't post anything. I won't post anything, and I don't want anyone following me. I'm a lurker, yes. So I think that's it, guys. I'm going to leave this trade running between now and tomorrow, and we'll see how this works out. But other than that, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I think tomorrow is just going to be very choppy because we have some huge news, and Wednesday is going to be a huge day for the markets, and so maybe there's going to be a lot of people just waiting to see what happens on Wednesday. And yeah, gold would have just destroyed me trying to short there. So all right, guys, take care, and I will see you tomorrow night.